How's it going, YouTube? Jamie the Kid 00 here, bringing you guys my first true net deck of the new format. I'm more doing this deck profile as kind of a personal note of this build, and I also wanted to just kind of talk about how much I've been enjoying this deck over the past few days. This is a deck profile of the what I'm going to call the Dragunity Ruler deck that Dale Bolito, Lazaro Bolito, and Patrick Hoban played at the most recent YCS, being YCS Toronto. Pat Hoban was able to take a similar build to this to to third place, and Dale Bolito was able to take this to the top 32. After watching both their deck profiles and listening to what they had to say, I began testing both their builds, and I kind of made an amalgamation of both builds featuring cards I was comfortable with and kind of more suited to my playstyle. So this is by no means a straight net deck of either of their decks, but it is definitely heavily based on their concept, and I have to give all the credit of this idea to Patrick Hoban, who I understand created the list, and of course Dale Bolito for also topping with it and giving his input on it. So I'm just going to kind of get into the list of what I'm playing. Some of the cards may be bad, some of them may be good. It's for you guys to decide, really. But this is what I'm happy with. A side deck will be in the description below once I've decided on one. I don't have one currently. I have a few ideas that I'm playing with, like crazy cards like Victoria. But for now, this is the main deck that I'm toying with, and I'm having quite a lot of fun with it. So, in the same vein as their builds, I'm playing 3 of each Dragon Ruler except Tidal, because I tested Tidal, and it took up way too much room, and it was just pointless to play. And of course we have to play the Tempest because this runs the Dragunity engine, and Dragunities love this card. This card puts in so much work in Dragunity. I'm then playing the 1 Redox Darkness Metal because this allows so many combo plays you have no idea. And in this deck, you kind of want to establish a big board and sit on it and try and win from there, usually associated with Stardust and things like that. And this card is an incredibly huge body, and it allows you to combo further and use very small amounts of resources to achieve very big things. So that's the kind of the non-Dragunity dragons. I also play a couple more not mainstream Dragunity cards. I play Flamvell Guard, which is not Dragunity, but it's a good tuner that you can search with Blaster. And I'm still playing the 1 Dragunity Corsesca. Neither Pat Hoban or Dale Bolito played Dragunity Corsesca. I, of course, did not have a chance to see Lazaro's deck because he didn't top. Neither of them played Corsesca, but I really like Corsesca. I like the 4th target because it makes Cards of Consonance a bit more consistent. I found Cards of Consonance to be a little bit inconsistent, probably because I'm bad and I played new decks bad. But I really enjoyed the way Corsesca tested, and also this deck actually makes this effect relevant. Its effect actually reads, because I'm going to read this to you guys, because a lot of you probably don't know what it does. This effect can only be activated while it's equipped to a monster. If the equipped monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can add 1 level 4 or lower monster from your deck to your hand with the same type and attribute as the monster this card is equipped to. So basically, in some situations, you can go Dux. Get this out of the grave if you, say, don't have a Phalanx and you need to kill something. Equip this to the Dux. The Dux will then be 1900, and you can attack over an opponent's monster with the Dux. And then this will allow you to add a new Dux to hand. So it allows you to grind game quite well. And again, it's a level 1 tuner to work with your Dragon Rulers, and it's a Cards of Consonance target if you have to. And it's come in quite handy for me quite a lot. So that's the Dragon Ruler type core. The Dragunity stuff that we play other than the Corsesca is just 2 copies of Dragunity Phalanx. I tested 3, way too cloggy, you only need 2. I almost considered playing 1, but Consonance is too good. I then played 3 Dux. 3 Dux is 3 Dux, it's standard, it's really good. This is like your push card of the deck other than your Dragon Rulers. It allows you to do so much. And then I play 1 Dragunity Mystletainn. It's good in grindy situations, it's good when your Duxes get Fiendish Chain, but it also lets you go off quite a bit and establish quite a large board with atom plays and things like that. So that is our complete monster lineup. I believe it's somewhere in the region of 17 monsters. I don't care to count, it's probably nothing like that, but there's a guess. The spell lineup is as follows. It's the 1 Dark Hole, the 1 Book of Moon. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Like, it's a very versatile card, but It's alright in this deck. The one Gold Sarcophagus for Tempest plays, like, this is really, really good with Tempest. For searching your Phalanx that you can then, like, Cards of Consonance or ditch with Ravine. So those are our one-offs. I then played 2 copies of Cards of Consonance for ditching the 4 little tuners that you saw we play. I then played 3 copies of Sacred Sword of 7 Stars. I'm currently missing one. I think I have a third one somewhere, but I have no idea where it is, so I need to trade another one in. 3 Sword is stupidly good in this deck. Wouldn't cut it for the world. I then played double Terraforming because Ravine is a really, really good card and you really need this to get to your Ravine. And I then played 3 copies of the Ravine because this card lets your deck chain. It lets your deck do 2 things, which is incredible. One is it allows you to spam level 8s for 3 turns. It allows you to go Dux, Dux, Dux and make 8s, level 8 synchros for 3 turns. However, what it also allows you to do, which is something I discovered while I was testing against Skill Drain Dragon Ruler, is it also allows your deck to basically change gear. Whereas for a while you can be revolving around the Dragunity stuff and your red MD and using the effects to go plus. However, if you find yourself under Skill Drain, you're able to change gear and go and use a Ravine to start sending your Dragon Rulers to the graveyard, so you can beat the Dragon Ruler Skill Drain deck at its own game. You're able to play around the skill drain using Dragon Rulers, and you can even put yourself in a position where you can make Dracosack and then have Dracosack tribute itself to kill the skill drain, which, by the way, most Dragon Ruler decks only main 1. So game 1 you can get around the skill drain and then summon a Dux, because you won't have normal summoned because you've been using your Dragon Rulers. So you can do incredible plays with this to get around skill drain. You can change gear, you can basically change from a Dragunity deck to a Dragon Ruler deck, which I think is amazing. And that is our complete spell lineup. This deck plays a kind of pseudo-control game. It's very capable of playing aggressively, but is also capable of locking down the opponent and playing a very good control game. And this trap lineup kind of reflects the dual purpose of this deck. I'm playing double trap stun. I believe Dale only played 1, and I'm not sure how many Patrick Hoban played, but I feel that the 2 trap stun are incredibly powerful at the moment for turning off cards like Vanity's Emptiness, so your own cards, but it's also very good for turning off your opponent's cards, especially in a format where people are setting mass amounts of back row, and where there are some very damaging cards like Icarus Attack in play, and Skill Drain. So I feel that the double trap stun is incredibly necessary. I didn't want to play Decree because I didn't want to cut my trap lineup, so this is proving very effective, and I will be siding the 3rd, but it's early days in the format, but I really like this card. I'm then playing, it's like Cold Wave, and people know how good Cold Wave was. I'm then playing 2 copies of Vanity's Emptiness. Basically, and I know I'm paraphrasing a lot of the things that Dale and Patrick said in their videos, but it's the truth. One of the most powerful boards you can have is Vanity's Emptiness in Stardust Dragon. You can do some incredible things with Emptiness Stardust, and just having Emptiness and protecting it is incredible. And like Dracosack Emptiness and things like that. Emptiness is an incredibly unbalanced card, and it behaves much like Oppression in certain decks. And if you can get it set up with the right board, you can't lose. Like, it's so hard to lose, because your opponent will try and commit to a play, you will stun that play, and then you will be able to play a control game under Emptiness, because you will usually have gone off before you activate your own Emptiness. If you activate Emptiness without board presence, you're going to be and you're not trying to stop an OTK, you're going to be in a bad place, a really bad place. We then play double Fiendish Chain. I know that Patrick Hoban and Dale Bolito did not play Fiendish Chain, but I feel that this card is so good in the meta right now, and it contributes towards the little control aspect that this deck can pull. And I just feel that it's an incredibly good card, and works really well in tandem with Scrap Dragon, which is a card I play. And I just couldn't bring myself to kind of play this deck without playing at least 2 Chain. I really like the 2 Fiendish Chain in this, so I'm going to be keeping it in. And this increased trap lineup is the reason why I'm not playing Upstart Goblins, because I cut them for more traps. Like, the Upstarts just kind of ended up getting in the way for me. I didn't find I needed them that much. I found the deck was fast and consistent enough as it was, so I rather just play 3 more effective cards. People will probably look at this and go, "What are you on about, Jamie?" But it's the way I feel. It's player preference. Like, I wanted to build this to player preference and not just straight net deck them, because they're not me. Like, I don't play as well as them, I don't think the way they do, so I'm not going to build a deck the way they do. I'm going to build it the way I do. Then for the 1-off traps, I'm playing the 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, because I really like it at the moment. The 1 Solemn Warning, but I could change that Bottomless for a Compulse depending what happens. The 1 Warning, because Warning is really, really, really good at controlling things. And then the this card says I win card, Return from the Different Dimension. Return is stupid in this deck, and I almost feel this deck behaves like Tempo Plants, which was stall until you find BLS. This deck is like make obstacle cards until you find this, and then win. When you find this, you win. Always. Unless it gets spaced when you set it. Because if you can find this and resolve it, you shouldn't lose. So, it's incredible. And that is our complete trap lineup. I believe it's 2, 3, 5, 9 traps. So move those out of the way. So that's the main deck. The extra is, again, another player preference creation, but it's kind of what you have to play, in my opinion. It's all the cards I've ever needed. I haven't found myself needing other things. So I'm playing 3 copies of Dragunity Knight Vajrayana. Vajrayana is in here for our Dux plays, basically. That's all he's in here for. I then play 1 Dragunity Knight Dearg. Dearg is something that I don't use that often, surprisingly. But I have been using him in situations where my Ravine has been taken out and I'm unable to get to my Ravine again. And I've had, say, like Dux Mystletainn plays, but I haven't had game. So I've made this, and I've had an E-Dragon in hand, Dragon Ruler in hand, and I've gone this, add Dux to hand, and then pitch the Dragon Ruler. And it basically behaves like a pseudo Ravine in situations where you need to recharge your Dux. And I was then able to go on to create a control board, but it's quite nice for that, for the fact that your Dragon Ruler can just be discarded from your hand, and it allows you to search Duxes when you don't have the Ravine. I then play 2 Stardust Dragons. I really like Stardust in this deck. I can't stress enough how good Stardust Dragon is in this deck. It just puts in so much work. It's so defensive. There's so much destruction in the meta right now that this card just wrecks that. And with Reborn out of the way, you don't really have to worry about your opponent like reborning your Stardust, which wasn't nice. It was really not nice when people baited out the Stardust and then reborned it. So that's a thing. I then play 1 Scrap Dragon, because Scrap Dragon gets rid of obstacle cards, and you'd have to be stupid not to play it. The 1 Crimson Blader, because Crimson Blader shuts down so many decks right now. It shuts down the Mirror, Mermail, various Dragon Ruler decks, Black Wings, all sorts. 1 Colossal Fighter for mirror matching Crimson Blader, and you can do some fun things with this. You can like deck your opponent out when they're under maxi, and in a similar way to the old Dragon Ruler mirror match. So that's a thing. And then the final card I play for Synchros is 1 Thought Ruler Arcfiend, because this card is really, really good. Because so many cards right now target. Basically, the only mainstream traps that don't target are Torrential, Bottomless, and Mirror Force, I think. So everything else targets. So this card is able to play through traps really, really effectively. I just really like it. So that is our Synchros. For our Exceeders, we really don't need that many. You only need them for when you make the pushes. Play the 1 Atom. That is our only 6. It's the only one you'll ever need, because you don't need. I've needed Strike Bouncer once. Otherwise, I've never needed Messiah 7 or anything like that. So the 1 Atom is enough. Then play the 1 Gaia Dragon. It serves a dual purpose. It's either Gaia for Atom or Gaia for 2 level 7s attacking over a token and dealing loads of damage. But it's mainly in there for the Atom plays. I then play 2 Draco Sacks. I found that 1 was far too few. I tested 1 for a while, and 1 just didn't work for me. So 2 Draco Sack was the way to go. And I then play the 1 Big Eye, because there are some things that these guys just can't deal with, and Big Eye is just really, really good. Like, I don't understand why this isn't gone, but yeah, sure, we'll keep playing Change Your Heart. You guys, you keep letting us play it, Konami. We're more than happy to. So yeah, that's about everything I wanted to talk about with this. I know it's been another boring deck profile, and I'm probably going to do a video exploring the strengths and weaknesses of this deck. And I also have a new Mermail deck coming up, which I'm a lot happier with than the last video. So I guess look forward to those if you look forward to my videos. I don't know how much you enjoy my videos, but this has been my first net deck. This has been the Patrick Hoban Dale Bolido Dragunity deck. I'm really happy with how it tests. I looked at it and I didn't think it was going to be very good. But if you guys have looked at that list and thought, how does that actually work? Go and give it a test, because it's actually surprisingly powerful. But yeah, Otherwise, this has been Jamie the Kid 00. This is one of the most powerful cards in the game right now, and I will see you guys very soon. Peace out. Bye.